Check this out, guys. The number of migrants in Denver shelters dips below 1,000 for the first time in 6 months. Many people think that this is a good idea, but in fact, this is one of the worst ideas ever because now Denver's homeless population is through the roof. If you look at what's going on in Denver, they took in 40,000 migrants. 40,000 migrants, many of them get to live in shelters in the very beginning, but now as these shelters are closing down because Denver frankly can't afford them, we're seeing the homeless population in Denver absolutely skyrocket. So this is not great at all. In fact, the homeless population in San Francisco and Oakland, it's getting so bad over there that many businesses are shutting down. This is what's going to happen to Denver the next few months as we're seeing Denver literally spending every single penny that they get on the migrant crisis. Now, we have newcomers who need housing. The city of Denver is begging landlords to rent their properties out to migrants. And what's really scary about this is many landlords are afraid that Denver eventually may be forced to have landlords rent their vacant properties out. Denver is home to some of the biggest real estate investing in the whole nation because the real estate market is extremely hot. It's really, really good. It's very, very healthy. But like I said, when you already have the city kind of poking around in the property market, a lot of landlords are getting a little bit nervous because why would you buy property here when maybe you have to force your properties to be rented out to migrants? And the thing about that is the rental yield is very low. Denver is paying $2,000 max, and it's going to be like a whole house. You know, $2,000 in Denver only gets you like a very, very small studio apartment. And it's a very old, crusty studio apartment, not like a brand new one. So many people are a little bit afraid of what's happening in Denver. People are feeling like Denver is becoming very detached from what's truly going on. Many people were all saying, why did Denver even play Sanctuary City? Denver was doing really good before this, but now they're really, really struggling. And we still don't really get ideas about why Denver decided to play Sanctuary City status because now shelters are shutting down because they're literally going broke. They have shut down multiple shelters just to save $60 million bucks. They actually had to do this just to keep the city running. They'll rather have migrants homeless on the streets than have the city collapse. So I guess there's something going for them. But you already get the idea. Parks and Recs are closed. The DMV hours are cut. Many government employees in Denver have their hours cut to 0. This is getting worse, guys. And now Denver is telling landlords to be like, it's up to you guys to fill in this gap. Check this out. Volunteers are scrambling to help migrant families left without shelters as Denver is scaling back its services. Now, the reason why they're doing this is, like I said, it's just costing them so much crazy money to operate these shelters. Remember, Denver is going to be paying probably over $2 million alone just on food for many of the migrants. So that alone is very expensive. Now, many of you may be asking, why is Denver struggling so much on the migrant crisis when Chicago and New York City are spending hundreds of millions of dollars like it's nothing? Denver's population is only 700,000. It's one of the smallest, in fact, this is one of the smallest cities playing the Sanctuary City status. And they have the highest migrant per capita count. And Denver is not like a big financial capital. Chicago and New York City are. That's why they can afford the big bucks. And the federal government is not helping Denver at all. Maybe $10 million. But that's it. So yes, Denver is facing a huge choice. And we're going to be seeing a bunch of these homeless encampments everywhere. Like, look at this water park, this nice theme park area. Just tents everywhere. This is the new Denver. Denver used to be one of the biggest and fastest growing post-pandemic boom towns. Now it's just filled with tents. And this is how it is now. And then you also have Denver reporting that they will be stopping emergency shelters, emergency responses to migrants, and shifting to a more sustainable response, which basically means that we can't really do anything anymore. And I guess with the migrant crisis, they're scaling everything back. Now, a lot of these plans aren't exactly public, but what they're saying is they don't really want to play playing sanctuary status anymore. They're shutting down shelters and they're trying to go back to the normal days, but you can't really send all these migrants back. So now many migrants are asleep on the streets. Many of them get hurt, many of them get sick. They call the emergency services and nobody answers. The hospital system is frankly overwhelmed at this point. We're seeing hundreds of millions of dollars owed to the public health system. Many residents are being turned away in many hospitals. We're also seeing the educational sector just basically overflowing with migrants. And like I said, Denver, if they just took in 1,000 migrants, it would have been okay. I'm not complaining at all, but they took in 40,000, and this is what's happening. And people are saying that could be going to 50,000 by the end of the year. Denver is truly on a path of destruction. And the mayor is saying that the migrant crisis will cost the city $180 million in 2024. This is very, very challenging, and many people are frustrated. Many people are saying, why did the Mike Johnson administration decided to get migrants in? Denver, it was probably one of the last cities on my list that would have played sanctuary city status. But for some reason, they wanted to do this, and now they're paying the big bucks. They're paying the price. Almost $200 million in 2024. Denver had everything going for them. It was one of the best towns out there. It was a town that everyone wanted to go to. But now, you are spending millions of dollars on the migrant crisis with nothing to show for. And even when you spend millions, migrants are still going to be sleeping on the streets as you close down a bunch of shelters. So get ready for one of the biggest increases in Denver homeless population counts. And so far, many businesses and many citizens are thinking about leaving Denver. Denver has now kind of just become like a massive slum at this point. So can Denver get back on its feet? We don't really know, but hopefully it does. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you later.